Hi guys, this is Renaki, or you might know me as Anne Ali from DeviantArt. And today I'm going to show you how I would draw an eye in a semi-realistic style using Paint Tool SAI and a tablet. But before starting, I have to tell you that you should have learned the basics of Paint Tool SAI before watching this video, because the basics are another tutorial entirely, so I'm just gonna focus on drawing the eye. So first things first, to start the drawing, I start with a gray background on the first layer. Usually it's gray because when I draw with a white background my eye hurts. So it kind of makes the eyes more comfortable with the long hours of drawing. So next is the sketch. So that would be on a different layer. I would have to create a new layer with low opacity, so maybe about 30%. And then I would use the brush tool with the black paint. Yeah. Then I would draw a leaf shape that represents the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid. Yeah, and then the iris as a half circle on almost on the corner. And then the crease on the top of the eyelid, so it kind of looks like an eyelid. And then the eyebrow. Yeah, so usually in sketches you don't have to worry about the form or how perfect the lines are, so you just have to tweak all of the proportions, because if you don't tweak now, you're gonna have problems later when you color it. It's gonna be hard to tweak again if you have a lot of layers already. Sometimes for the shape of the eye, I just have to use a reference, because since my style is semi-realistic, I usually have to base it from the real stuff. Now on a new layer, I'm going to put the main outlines. So you don't have to lower the opacity, it's just the normal opacity, 100%. And I just used the black paint. Yeah, well in this case I was rushing because it's almost bedtime and I don't want to stay up late, so I have to rush things for this tutorial, sorry. Yeah, so this in this part you have to make it perfect. Yeah, so it wouldn't be very sketchy. Yeah, so that's why I spend a lot of time on outlines. I really like to make it really perfect. And also, if you see a mistake on the draft, you can change it on the outline. So that's the beauty of having drafts. You can get some trial and error in there. And since I'm not really good at outlines, I usually spend most of my drawing time here. And I do hope it's helping you guys. Yeah, I'm not proud of my outlines. And also when I make my outlines, I usually add the eyelashes already. And as for the eyebrows, sometimes I draw a solid line, a solid black line. In this case, I just have to put another color. Maybe if I change my mind, I would color it to black. Okay, so just fixing things. And also another layer, you can see I made another layer. That would be the skin around the eye. Just cover parts of the eye, around the eye. And then another layer. Actually, all the coloring layers are, of course, below the outline. So this fourth layer is actually on top of the skin. And it's a gray pinkish layer. And then the next layer would be the iris, which is the color blue. I chose blue because I like blue. Yeah, so each colors have different layers. only on top of each other. And then I see something that maybe imperfect lines already, so sometimes I tweak even though I'm already on the colors part. I still tweak on the lines because sometimes you can only see the imperfections on the lines when you color it. Okay, and then I added the dark blue as for the pupil, the shades of the pupil. I would add around the iris so you can see the light blue C shape. Yeah, so at this point I'm using the water tool, sometimes the airbrush tool, to make it smooth. Yeah, sometimes I just have to make sure that my iris is even and it's roundish. Now I added the black color and concentrated on the top part, so making the pupil more visible and more distinct. So just concentrate on the top because that's where the shadows would be. And use the water tool or the airbrush tool to blend. You also need to add the black color on the edges, just very softly using the airbrush tool. Okay, so now I'm adding the shades on the whites of the eye. Yeah, because they have shadows too. It doesn't have, I mean, the whites of the eye doesn't have to be pure white. Naturally, the whites of the eye is actually grayish or maybe pinkish at times. So I just try to add that color and then add some shadows on it. So on the top areas and also on the corner areas. And now on the iris, I'm applying the light blue color to make it pop out. So I'm actually creating streaks around the iris to kind of make it like textured. Yeah, just like the iris. So remember, your eyes have streaks on your iris. So I would make mine a little lighter to make it pop out. And then another lighter blue. Yeah, to make some gradient there. Also in streaks. Yeah, but smaller than the previous light blue. So in here, another layer, but made a mistake. Okay, so I have to move the layer on top of the lines because that's where the shines go. Yeah, so I use the airbrush tool to make the shine so it won't get really sharp. I want it a little bit smoother and softer. So now I'm moving on with the skin around the eye. So I would use a lighter brownish reddish color, and I start with the upper parts of the eye. This is where the crease starts with the eyelid. Yes, as you can see, the actual eyelid is left untouched, only on the upper part, and then on the corner eye, also on the bottom, because that's where the eye bags go. So that would be darker. Yes, so now I'm using the brush tool, the water tool, and the airbrush tool. Yeah, so I'm concentrating on the top part, maybe smoothing things out also with the water tool. And now I am painting over it with a darker brown. And that is actually also on the skin layer. So all the shades are on the skin layer. Okay, trying to fix all the shadows there. You just have to add softly with the airbrush sometimes and the water tool, because the brush tool can be very hard. So yeah, I use the airbrush tool for smoothing things out too. And then I would add a lighter skin color for highlights to make it look a little more bumpy, I guess. Yeah, so here a lot of tweaking and tweaking, see which areas are lighter. So you have to determine which bumps are higher. So the more higher the bumps, the lighter it gets. Or you can also use a reference, but in my case I've used reference many times, so I got used to it. But you will too if you practice a lot with references. And so now the eyebrows are brown, decide to make it brown, and added a darker color in it under the eyebrow. So now I think, oh, it stopped. Oh, must be my time when I went to the bathroom. Okay, oh no, so now it's moving again. Yeah, so I'm going to emphasize on the crease there. Yeah, some highlights there, the corners, make it a little bit pointy. Yeah, at this part I thought that I made a mistake, because I think the upper right part is too bumpy. So, but as you can see, I'm not trying to concentrate immediately on that area. And now I decide to erase that pointy thing at the end. Okay, so now I added the tear duct, which is the dark red on the corner. Now I'm back on the skin, just trying to even out the colors. And adding more shadows under the eyebrows. And the eyebrow itself, the eyebrow is actually, well, ugly, so I decided to make it darker. And also I came back to the whites of the eye because I thought that there are more shades to be done on the corners. And as you can see, we are finished with our eye. So actually the video is sped up, but the actual time of drawing the eye is about 30 minutes. So it's not really that fast. I'm a slow drawer or painter. And I used about 8 layers. So the first one is the draft. Oh wait, the first one is the background, the gray, then the draft, and then the lines, skin, whites of the eye, and the iris, the eyebrow, and the shine. So the bottom layer should be the gray, and next is the draft, and the top layer should be the shine. Thank you for watching, and I hope this tutorial helped you in your progress as an artist. Well, I have to remind you that this method is not really official, so it's like my style, but you don't have to follow it. You can have your own method in creating shades and colors. I just made this tutorial so you can have an idea on how one can draw an eye using paint tool's eye. So next time I hope I can make more tutorials. And up next would be the hair. I've had many requests about the hair. I would try my best to have some free time to do the tutorials, but I can't promise. Yeah, I'm too busy. So thanks again and goodbye.